Hi everyone, it's Skipper977 here, and welcome back to another Battlefield 4 video. Now, firstly, I have some good news, and I have some bad news. Let's get the bad news out of the way so we can start on a good note, I guess. Unfortunately, the Battlefield 4 beta is over. We knew this was going to come sooner or later, but of course they're going to have to close the beta eventually so they can just fix out the netcode and stuff, but it just ends just like that. I mean, the 2 weeks just flew by. It's just sad. I can't play it. I can't get any more gameplay. Just be thankful you didn't have to be around me to see my reaction to when I got booted from the server when it was over. Because there were a couple of unfortunate people who had to suffer through my torment as I realized that the Battlefield 4 beta was over. And then 10 minutes later I just ended up playing on my Mega Drive. Yeah. And another bad news is that it's back to school. Hurrah! I know we've been at school for 2 weeks now, but yeah, huzzah. Okay. But the good news is that here's another Battlefield 4 video, because I guess another video is good, right? Because more people would want to watch it, and yeah, right? Oh, that's good. That was just a horrible intro. But anyway, the game today is mostly from the same game. Is from Obliteration, and this is from the last day of the beta, because I literally played for 4 hours straight after school before the beta ended, because I was just making sure to get as much footage as I can, and I got like about 4 hours of footage, even though some of the footage was a bit of a dud, so sometimes I deleted some, but hopefully I've got enough footage to last maybe 2 or 3 videos, including this one. Anyway, the game mode we have today is Obliteration, and as some of you may know, Obliteration is a brand new game mode introduced for Battlefield 4, and it is a welcome change from the old Rush from Battlefield 3. For those who don't know, Obliteration is an objective-based game mode where you basically got to pick, your team has got to secure a bomb from the middle of the map which spawns at a random location, take it to the enemy MCOMs, which there are 3 of them, and simply arm it and blow it up. It sounds simple, but it is very tricky, and that's why teamwork is key here, because you can't go one-man army or lone range anymore. Trust me, I tried that, and it ended badly. So you gotta make sure you have good teammates covering your position, or even have a vehicle extraction, such as from a helicopter or a tank. Otherwise, you're not gonna get very far. I do have a couple of gripes with this game mode, such as there are 3 ways to spawn. One is obviously your squad mates. The other is your base, which you spawn on the ground. Now there's also another way to spawn, which is where you parachute down from the air into the heat of the battle. Now I think it's a good way to spawn because it gets you right in the action, but I think some people have been abusing it, because you can actually parachute from your base all the way to the enemy base. Even some people have just gone to our base and just take a lift to the rooftop and just like spawn camp there and just end up picking off people who are just trying to spawn and parachute in. So I'm hoping that DICE maybe nerfs that a bit, where you have to spawn further back instead of just like people just being able to go to our base. But other than that, it is a fantastic game and it is really welcome change. I can't wait to play this in the other maps, and yeah, it's fun. I mean, that's what we all want in the game. We want to have fun. Yeah. Anyway, there's a couple other things I want to talk about which I didn't state in my last video. The vehicles, they are great. A welcome good change from Battlefield 3. The controls have been improved so much for the helicopters. Well, in my opinion. Where I know some people said they were complaining about the controls on console. Obviously, I can't judge the game on console because I didn't play the console version. I only played the PC version. But to me, the controls with the mouse, with the helicopters and tanks, just felt a bit more smooth, especially the helicopters, because they just felt a bit more agile and I felt like a bit more mobile, rather than just a little bit clunky that was in Battlefield 3. I mean, it just feels so satisfying to get a multi-kill in the helicopters, and it just feels way more smooth and realistic. And the tanks are good to control as well, even though they're sluggish. I mean, hello, it's a tank. They're supposed to be sluggish. I mean, I don't think a big giant tank is going to be able to just zip right through in between the skyscrapers at fast speeds. But yeah, And a welcome change is limited ammo capacity for the vehicles. Now obviously with your secondary machine gun on the tanks, you have still like infinite ammo really, but like you don't shoot too much automatically, so you can't spam it, otherwise your gun will overheat, so you have to wait for it to cool down. And I love this change. I mean, you no longer, people will just spam the main cannons. I mean, you've got limited ammo. Because I remember back in Battlefield 3, I used to just spam the main cannons and for infantry. But now it encourages you to use your secondary machine guns on infantry units. The guns, which there are of course new guns such as the AK variety, such as the AK-5C and AK this and AK that. I can't remember all the names off the top of my head. But they are very good to control, good accuracy, good range, and very well balanced. Especially the engineers' carbines, because usually the engineers back in Battlefield 3 were just sort of ineffective in terms of infantry. They were good in the vehicles, but in infantry they're sort of lacking a bit. But here with the new carbines, which are now universal for all classes, they work really well and it's more balanced. Overall, this beta has been fantastic. I'm very looking forward to the final release, which is in 2 weeks. So we're counting down those 2 weeks, and in 2 weeks we shall have our full Battlefield 4 of all the maps, such as Paracel Storm and other maps that I can't remember off the top of my head. Seriously, like, I've been paying attention to Paracel Storm so much because it is a great map from based on what I've seen. I mean, like, this all reminds me of Wake Island, but more destruction, because there's a big freaking battleship that crashes into the island based on your actions. It's not scripted, it's based on your actions. I mean, if you, like, what happens is if you destroy a windmill or like turbine, whatever it is, I can't remember what it is, you know what I mean, like, I just can't remember if it's off the top of my head. I mean, you make it happen. That's what Levolution is about. You make it happen. It's not scripted. I mean, you control the game. I mean, it makes it feel, every game, it makes it feel different, it makes it feel unique. I'm very looking forward to the final release. We're coming towards the end of this gameplay. I am so excited. I know I'm sound like a fanboy, but seriously, this is my most hyped game of this year. But since the beta's over, now what am I gonna do? I mean, if only I had some other games to play. Oh wait, I do! I think I can wait 2 weeks. I think I'll survive.